one of the things that God is leading me as I get a little bit older, and that is not to be beating up on the young men so much, but to educate them and to love them. People, I remember they used to say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, you can.
Sure can.
You can teach an old dog new tricks. It takes a little more time, a little more patience, and you might get bitten, but have on your whole armor. Have on the whole armor of dogs. You got to have on dog armor, man. If you're working with old dogs, you can. It's possible to teach and to train a person if they are open to that. It's possible to teach and to train a man how to love and how to be godly, but you got to be patient and you got to love the men. You got to love them, Doc.
Yes,
I know
sir.
you know that.
Yes, sir. You got to love them. I remember some years ago when I was first entering the penitentiary, two brothers came in and they were charged with second-degree murder. And I looked over their records and found out that they never even touched, they never shot a gun, they never used a knife, and they never touched a man that they was accused of killing. And found out the man running after them after one of them had a heart attack and died. And the judge charged them with second-degree murder. Okay, I didn't think that was right, so I took it up on myself to try to seek help for them, and I went to bat for them, even going to the court. And when I went to the court, and the judge asked me a question, and reading out their records, reading that record out, and then I told him because they was teenagers.
Yes.
Since they was teenagers, then another judge had told me that, white folks usually take theirs in when they are teenagers and take them in and keep them from getting a record, and they would take them in the responsibility. They'd be responsible for them. So I told the judge, give them to me.
Really?
I said, give them to me. And the judge looked, you should have saw his face when I said, give them to me. He said, have you read their records? And he handed me their records and said, go into my chambers and sit down and read their record. I had their folders, and I went in the chambers and sat down and began to glance through their records again to see if I missed anything.
Yes.
And when I came out, he said, now what you say? I said, give them to me.
Praise the Lord.
And he said, well, he decided to send them to Patuxent Institute. Okay, now, later on, after they got out of the prison, I ran into one of them, I guess about 15, 16 years later, I ran into one of them, and he realized who I was. He